Since its 2005 television debut, the Ultimate Fighter reality series has been responsible for launching several legendary careers. Stars like Michael Bisping, Kamaru Usman and Forrest Griffin are examples of season winners who would go on to capture UFC gold. Of course, history has also shown that winning isn't everything when it comes to the hit reality series. So for this video, we'll be taking a look at 10 Ultimate Fighter contestants who didn't need to win the Ultimate Fighter tournament to become MMA stars. As always, if you guys enjoy this video, then please be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Now without further ado, and ranked in no particular order, let's take a look at 10 of the most successful Ultimate Fighter contestants who didn't win their season. Number 10. Rose Namajunas. Thug Rose Namajunas was in her early 20s when she appeared on The Ultimate Fighter back in 2014. Season 20 featured an all-female cast competing for the inaugural UFC Women's Strawweight Championship, with the contestants on that season coached by the then lightweight champ Anthony Pettis and top contender Gilbert Melendez. Despite being the 7th seed, Namajunas managed to get past several competitors, including the highly touted veteran Johan Calderwood. The series finale featured Rose Namajunas taking on the number 1 seed Carla Esparza. Unfortunately for Rose, Carla used her elite grappling to earn a 3rd round submission victory. Of course, Namajunas was far from done in the UFC. Following the Esparza loss, Namajunas won 4 of her next 5 fights and earned another shot at the strawweight title. This time around, the title holder was Poland's Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Interestingly enough, Joanna defeated the 20th season's winner to capture the strawweight crown. Though she entered as a heavy underdog, Namajunas would shock the MMA world by defeating the previously unbeaten Jędrzejczyk via 1st round TKO, in turn becoming the new undisputed champion. While she unfortunately lost the title in May of 2019, Namajunas has established herself as one of the best pound-for-pound female fighters in the world. Number 9. TJ Dillashaw. The Ultimate Fighter Team Bisping vs Team Miller was the 14th installment of the series and featured a fighter out of California named TJ Dillashaw. Dillashaw would end up being the 2nd bantamweight selected by Michael Bisping. During his time on the show, the California native fought his way to the final, where he would meet Jason Miller's top bantamweight pick by the name of John the Magician Dodson. At the Ultimate Fighter 14 finale, Dodson managed to land a big shot early and secure a TKO victory. While Dillashaw wasn't destined to become the Ultimate Fighter, he would go on to become one of the most successful bantamweights in UFC history. Dillashaw eventually became a 2-time bantamweight title holder who earned victories over folks like Renan Barão, Rafael Assunção and Cody Garbrandt. Unfortunately, Dillashaw's recent failed drugs tests have made him a controversial figure. Despite that, he remains one of the most decorated Ultimate Fighter alumni. Number 8. Paulo Costa. The Ultimate Fighter Brazil 3 is perhaps best remembered for the infamous brawl between coaches Chael Sonnen and Vanderlei Silva. However, it was also the first time UFC fans were introduced to a future star in Paulo Costa. Unfortunately, Costa would make an early exit from the tournament after losing his very first fight on the show. Though he enjoyed little success in the Ultimate Fighter tournament, Paulo Costa would become the season's biggest success story. During the next few years, the talented middleweight would pick up wins over stars like Johnny Hendricks, Uriah Hall and Yoel Romero. His victory set the stage for a UFC middleweight title bout with Israel Adesanya at UFC 253. And despite coming up short against Adesanya, Paulo Costa had transitioned from being an obscure Ultimate Fighter contestant to a UFC title challenger. Number 7. Al Iaquinta. Longtime lightweight contender and licensed real estate agent Al Iaquinta is no stranger to the Ultimate Fighter house. In fact, the 33-year-old was the first pick of coach Uriah Faber on the Ultimate Fighter Live. The proud New Yorker made it to the finals by defeating Miles Jury, Andy Ogle and Vin Peachel. Unfortunately, Iaquinta would come up short in the season finale against Michael Chiesa. Despite the setback, Al Iaquinta is in the midst of a respectable UFC career. He has signature wins over stars like Kevin Lee, Diego Sanchez and Jorge Masvidal. Moreover, at UFC 223, Raging Al fought Khabib Nurmagomedov for the undisputed UFC Lightweight Championship. While Khabib Nurmagomedov ultimately won the contest, Al Iaquinta gave the Dagestan native one of his most challenging bouts to date. Number 6. Kenny Florian. Kenny "Kenflo" Florian burst onto the scene during the very first season of The Ultimate Fighter. Like many on our list, the now retired jiu-jitsu ace managed to make his way to the tournament's final round. Of course, he would end up losing to the inaugural Ultimate Fighter in Thiago Santos. After the show, Kenny Florian spent the majority of his career in the title picture. In fact, he fought for UFC Gold on 3 separate occasions, though he unfortunately came up short in each attempt. While he never won a UFC title, Florian defeated many of the best fighters of his era, including Takanori Gomi, Clay Guida, and Joe Stevenson. Number 5. Brandon Moreno. After being drafted dead last and eliminated in the first round of the Ultimate Fighter Tournament of the Champions, most folks wouldn't have pegged Brandon Moreno as a future UFC title challenger. However, despite his forgettable performances on the series, the man they call the Assassin Baby is clearly one of the best flyweights in the world. Following an impressive 3-fight win streak, Moreno finally earned his shot at the undisputed flyweight belt. At UFC 256, the talented 27-year-old took on reigning flyweight king Davison Figueiredo. Moreno fought the champ and drew in a contest-worthy fight of the year consideration, and will likely be granted a second shot at the gold in 2021. Number 4. Josh Koscheck. Former NCAA Division I wrestler Josh Koscheck's behaviour on the first season of The Ultimate Fighter helped cast him as one of the sport's premier villains. That said, after losing to Diego Sanchez in the semi-final round of the tournament, Koscheck went on quite a tear in the UFC. The talented grappler would spend most of his career as a welterweight contender, and become one of Georges St. Pierre's most notable rivals. At UFC 124, Koscheck finally got the chance to compete for a UFC title, though he came up short against hometown favourite St. Pierre. Still, his UFC run has included victories over Hall of Famer Matt Hughes and former title challenger Anthony "Rumble" Johnson. Number 3. Matt Hamill. 3-time National Wrestling Champion Matt the Hammer Hamill made history by becoming the first deaf athlete to compete in the UFC. During The Ultimate Fighter's 3rd season, Hamill was coached by former light heavyweight champion Tito Ortiz, a man he would later face inside the octagon. After winning his preliminary bout on the show, the talented grappler was unfortunately forced out of the tournament due to an injury. However, he did enough to impress the UFC brass and earn a contract with the promotion. Despite having his time cut short on the show, Matt Hamill had several big wins during his time with the UFC, picking up victories over Mark Munoz and his former coach Tito Ortiz. However, Hamill is best known for being the first and thus far only man to defeat John Jones. And sure, it was a controversial disqualification victory in a fight he was losing, but a win is a win. Number 2. Thiago Santos. Our next fighter appeared on The Ultimate Fighter Brazil 2. We are of course talking about light heavyweight title contender Thiago Santos. While he won his first 2 fights on the show, he was unfortunately eliminated in the quarterfinals by the season's eventual winner Leonardo Santos. Following the conclusion of the show, he would go on to establish himself as one of the UFC's premier knockout artists. During his time with the promotion, Thiago Santos has used his heavy hands to put away standouts like Anthony Smith, Jack Hermansson, and even current light heavyweight champ Jan Blachowicz. At UFC 239, Santos cemented his legacy by taking longtime light heavyweight king John Jones to his limit in a 5-round war. Number 1. Gray Maynard. Gray the Bully Maynard began his UFC journey on the 5th season of The Ultimate Fighter as a member of Team Penn. However, the Bully would eventually make his exit in the semi-final round of the tournament after suffering a loss to Nate Diaz. Despite coming up short on The Ultimate Fighter, Maynard's career inside the octagon got off to a scorching start. The talented lightweight picked up wins over Frankie Edgar, Kenny Florian, and even avenged his loss to Nate Diaz. After putting together a spectacular 10-0 record, Maynard was ready to rematch Frankie the Answer Edgar at UFC 125. This time around, the contest would be for the UFC Lightweight Championship. Despite a dominant first round for the challenger, Maynard vs Edgar 2 was ruled a draw. The two clashed again at UFC 136, with Edgar retaining his title via a 4th round KO. Still, Gray Maynard remains one of the best lightweights never to win a title, and has some very impressive wins on his resume. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Apart from that, thanks so much for watching guys, and we'll see you on the next video.